Hey, fight fans, Imran here with Boxing Loco. I'm joined here today with Mr. Henry Garcia, aka Coach Henry, father of boxing superstar Ryan Garcia. How you doing today, Coach Henry?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Good, good. Thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Sure.
So I noticed you've been really busy lately with the Fierce Reflex bags, huh?
Yeah, I've been really busy.
Yeah, I saw that you dropped a new version of it. How's that been for you?
Well, that's coming out in May. It's called the Hybrid Pro. So
The Hybrid Pro.
Yeah.
And what is the name of the website so everyone can know where to purchase it?
www.fiercereflex.com.
Awesome. So let's get right into it.
Okay.
So, what is your background in the sport of boxing, and how do you initially get drawn to the sport?
Well, it all started back in Chicago when my brother and we started training. And we started working out in several gyms, and then one man told me, hey, you want to make some money? I said, sure, what do I have to do? And he's like, all you got to do is fight. I said, fight? What do you mean fight? He goes, yeah, fight.
Nice.
I said, in the ring? He goes, yeah, in the ring. I said, oh, okay. So I just did it for the money.
Well, there you go. That's a good way to get into it. Who were some of your favorite fighters growing up, and what were some of your favorite fights that you still remember and talk about to this day?
Oh wow! Well, of course the Sugar Ray Leonard and Hearns.
Mm-hmm.
You had the Marvin Hagler and
Yes,
Hearns,
rest
right?
in peace.
Duran against Davey Moore.
That's
Those
right.
are classics, man.
That's
Those are
what's up.
classics.
So let's transition now to your son, King Rye, as he goes by. At what point did you realize that, man, my son is going to become a superstar?
Well, I always told him when we would train out in the garage, I would always tell him, I said, Ryan, you've got the skills, you've got the look, you've got the height. I said, but there's one thing that you've got to understand in life. He goes, what's that, Dad? I said, you have to entertain. You have to entertain.
Nice.
If you know how to entertain, you're going to go big. And he goes, oh, okay, So I had to teach him how to entertain him.
Mm-hmm.
Once he got that,
look at him now,
look
right?
at him now.
Nice. So let me ask you, what is your favorite attribute that Ryan has as a fighter? Is it his timing, his speed? What is it?
Well, he's got both timing and speed, and that's one of his major attributes that he has. And I'm just in awe of it because I've seen it from the beginning. He would train with my brother, Sergio, who gave up his foundation. And at that point, I saw the speed and the discipline that he had. And it just, it just kept on escalating into something like a powerhouse. It was awesome.
Okay. So now let's talk about Ryan's last performance. It was his biggest test yet against Luke Campbell, who was no slouch, twice challenged for lightweight titles, and Olympic gold medalist in his own right. What was your thoughts on Ryan's performance?
I thought it was superb. It was an A+ performance because he's never been dropped. He's never been dropped in the amateurs or in the pros. And for him to get dropped by Luke Campbell, I was a little surprised, but I knew that the conditioning that we put into this fight, he would get back up, So my main concern was his legs.
Yeah.
And when I saw his legs, okay, I said, all right, then he's going to be fine.
Yep. Yes, so I'm glad that Ryan experienced that so early in his career because moving forward, if he ever gets in that situation again, he will know how to handle it. Right. So, I'm really glad he went through that and came through like a champ. And you guys shared a beautiful moment in the ring's seconds after Ryan got the victory. Yeah. There was so much joy and raw emotion as soon as Luke didn't get up.
Right.
What was the moment like after Ryan pulled off the victory?
Well, the moment was just, it was awesome because the excitement, the build-up, what happened, how he overcame this, being dropped and then to come back and to actually drop him.
Right.
I mean, that was just incredible to witness.
Yeah.
And when it happened, I mean, we were all so happy because he actually, I'm going to use what Bernard Hopkins said to him. He goes, hey, you became a man tonight. So
yeah.
Said,
I mean, he got back up.
Many people can overcome something like that and also become victorious.
Yeah, and he knocked him out.
He's never been knocked out before.
Right, exactly. Really good contender. So yeah, can you tell me how much improvement you've noticed that Eddy Reynoso, who's recognized as the best trainer in all of boxing right now, has had on Ryan on recent years?
Well, I've always respected Eddie as a trainer. When Ryan and I saw him make that adjustment that he did against Triple G, Canelo against Triple G, we realized back then that, you know, he was somebody special. And for him to take on Ryan, who like I said, I allowed that to happen. We all accepted, we're all in agreement, you know. And I'm the type of father that, even though I was his main trainer at the time, and now I'm still his trainer.
Of course.
But, you know, I passed on the torch because I knew that Eddie had that experience, which I didn't at the moment.
Okay.
So I allowed it. And for what I'm seeing now is that was one of the best decisions we made. Because of what Ryan has done.
Absolutely. I noticed Ryan's been mentioning Gervonta again quite often.
Right.
I know that's the biggest fight to make business-wise, and also the fans, obviously, they want it. But if that fight doesn't happen next, which it looks like it isn't, because Tank said he wants to fight at 140 from what I've heard for his next fight, then what's next for Ryan?
Well, we're still going to go after Tank Davis, even though they did say, you know, 140. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think anytime soon. I think he is going to fight at 135 because he's naturally at 130. So for him to go from 130 to 140, that's a big step.
Big step, for sure.
And it's a high risk for him.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay? And I feel that if it isn't Tank, hopefully it is. If it isn't Tank, it could be somebody else. It could be even Teofimo.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So Ryan did win the WBC interim lightweight title, which makes him mandatory for Devin Haney, who's a WBC champion. Why isn't this a fight that Ryan is pushing for?
Well, that's a good question. Devin Haney, if you notice, Devin Haney is calling out Ryan, whereas it should be the other way around.
Right.
You know?
The contender.
And when that happens, it's because you need him. And a champion shouldn't be needing someone.
That's right.
They should be needing him. So there's your answer.
You know, him and Haney have history in amateurs as well with some good competition. You know, I think this only fight makes sense if Ryan can't get Tank Davis. But, I mean, is that something you guys will push for if it doesn't happen with Tank, or what's the next?
Well,
what are you thinking?
Mean, again, you know, we're after big fish, you know, and if you know as well as I know that Devin Haney is a paper champion. He really hasn't fought for that belt, male champ, and it's sad to say, but it's true because you gotta win. Just like Ryan, he beat Luke Campbell, and you saw it. Right?
Oh yeah.
They didn't just give him
of course,
a belt or anything like that through email. They just said, hey, you know what? You deserved it. Here it is, champ.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's what we're after. We're after fighters that have something that they've earned, so that we could
kind of has a good resume and all that stuff too, right?
Yeah.
I got you. Also, is a Lomachenko fight something that Ryan has talked about or has his eyes set on at all? If none of the other fights happen, I think it's a huge fight business-wise as well. Both of them have an amazing fan base behind them. So, tell me.
Yeah, I mean, Lomachenko is a good fight, something to consider. Absolutely. I mean, you know, you got a lot of lightweights out there and big fish, and Lomachenko is one of them. You know, but again, Lomachenko is a 130, naturally 130 pounder. For him to step up to 135, look what happened to him against Teal. See, so you gotta, you know, we want the fight, but we don't want any excuses, because if Ryan knocks out Lomachenko, I don't want people to say, oh, well, you know what, he was actually naturally a 130.
Yeah, you know, he held the titles at 135.
Yeah,
you know, which,
well, but I
which
mean,
Teal got now. You know?
If you look at here, the point I'm making is this, and this is the way I see it. And I would say the same thing about my own son. You know, that if you're gonna call yourself a champ at that weight class, then fight the big fish at that weight class. you know, don't fight Gamboa where like he's all washed up and say, oh, you know, he held the belt, so I beat him and I won the title. No.
I don't even know how Gamboa got the title shot in the first place.
I mean, that's what I'm getting at. It's like, come on, you know, and Tank got that belt from him, and it's like I just didn't understand that. But the way I am is that if you're gonna call yourself a champ, then fight a champ. A high top contender. Don't fight somebody that, you know, was you know, mandatory. No. Fight somebody that you actually gonna has a title, and go ahead and do it. You know.
I agree.
And that's the way I am. And we got belts, so let's find somebody that's got either a better belt or, you know, equal.
Definitely.
But, you know, somebody who's earned it.
Definitely. I heard Ryan in an interview recently saying that he didn't like the way that his promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, handled the Ryan and Pacquiao fight news. Based off what you know, how has their relationship been over the years? Is Ryan happy with the way Golden Boy has been promoting him?
Well, I wouldn't say 100% happy. I wouldn't say that, but I mean, overall, he's happy. He's just, you know, just like a family. You know, family has quarrels. You know, they have ups and downs, so it's no different. And Golden Boy is no different either. You know, I wish their relationship was better. And I wish Ryan and De La Hoya would talk before something goes out to the media.
Yeah.
You know, so I wish a lot of things, but, you know, if it doesn't happen, you know, you might hear this or hear that, and, you know, but I'm just saying the relationship is okay.
Yeah, and recently I did see on the social media that they want to have a world tour of Ryan. They said they want to take him to many places, many different venues, and try to really promote him. Obviously, he's their number one fighter right now. So
absolutely, and
you know,
that's absolutely true. And I think that's coming from DAZN.
Okay.
And Golden Boy supporting it.
Gotcha.
I think DAZN is the one that really wants that to happen.
Okay. And lastly, what do you want next for your son, and what would you like for him to achieve for his next short-term goals?
Well, I personally would want Ryan to fight a Tank Davis or Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko if he's there. You know, somebody that I know people will enjoy watching.
Right.
You know, because, you know, like Ryan says, you know, in order to be a champ, you got to beat a champ. You know.
Yeah.
And I know that, you know, as well, and that's what we're after. So I see a good future ahead for Ryan.
That's good. That's good. Okay, and tell the fans where they can follow you on social media.
Okay, you can follow me at Pro Coach Henry. That's my Instagram, and you can also follow at Fierce Reflex. You know.
Okay.
And there it is.
Okay. All right. You heard it right here with Boxing Loco. Thank you very much for your time, Coach Henry.
Thank you.